We're now joined by new head men's basketball coach, Coach Pat Garvin. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm good, Brock. How are you, man?
Pretty good. I'm excited to have you on as I feel like a lot of the viewers and listeners want to know who the new coach is and your new style of play. Before we get into that, can you just explain the journey you've been through with basketball, maybe going back to high school and your progression all the way to the position you are now here as head men's basketball coach at Bethany Lutheran College?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm originally from Jackson, Minnesota, so southwest part of the state. Went to Bethany out of high school, played here for 4 years under Coach Jedlow and Coach Balza. And then when I get done with that, I coached here as a student assistant for a year, and then moved on over to Minnesota State for the first time. Over there was getting my master's and was on the coaching staff over at MSU. And then went down to Arizona for a couple of years, worked at Benedictine University, which is in Mesa, Arizona. I was assistant coach down there, and then came back now 3 years ago, MSU, as an assistant coach there. I've been there the last 3 years. And then obviously last week was rehired back over here, and happy to be back in Bethany for sure.
So what intrigued you most about this job at Bethany?
Well, I mean, I think, like everyone that's associated with Bethany and stuff knows it's a special place, and obviously being my alma mater and stuff, I had a lot of pride in not only the men's basketball program, but the school itself. So from that standpoint, it was really exciting. Obviously, head coaching opportunity. I got to stay in the community of Mankato, and so from that, it just made a ton of sense for me with it, and just excited because like I said, I love this place. I have a lot of pride in it. And it's more than just a head coaching chance for me.
How has COVID-19 affect your interview process and then moving into Bethany? You're from Minnesota State, so I assume you didn't have to move far since you're in Mankato, but how has that kind of affect your changing job process?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, obviously all the interview and stuff with the committee and whatnot was all online, so over Zoom. And then obviously once gotten hired, meeting all the players and having team meetings and stuff it's all been on the line as well. So that's been a little different from that standpoint. Recruiting's changed a lot, obviously, for everybody. Everything's a lot more virtual now, and no campus visits and no getting out and seeing guys and evaluating from that standpoint. So relying on a lot of film and whatnot. So it's definitely affected. Obviously, I haven't moved or anything, so haven't been impacted from that standpoint. But a lot more virtual stuff.
So I'm just curious, do you get to talk to Coach Fletcher at all about more insight from the team are coming in, or do you just listen to Don, or how do you come into, I guess, to the team and know your surroundings?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've had some conversations with Coach Fletcher and Coach Perrin. I knew both of them from before and whatnot, so I've had a relationship with those guys. So they've helped with that transition for sure. And then just have reached out to the guys right away when I got hired, and have started to try to get to know them that way with it. And then obviously just watching a ton of film with them and stuff too, just get a feel for their games and whatnot. And really excited about the pieces that are coming back and the incoming pieces, and hopefully can keep this thing going.
You said you talked to the team. What was the first thing you told your new team?
I think the first thing talk to them about was I'm a big believer that it's a player's program. It's not now all of a sudden going to become my program. It's not another coach's program or anything like that. It's their program, and that's going to be my message always as a head coach about the players. It's their deal. They're 18 to 22 years old. It's the best time of their life, and it's all about their experience and winning some games along the way, but having a lot of fun while we do it. So I try to reiterate that message to them, that it's about them. It's not about me. It's not about anything else like that. It's all about them.
You said you talked about Fletch. You might know the mantra #be different. Do you have some type of saying that you go along with coaching or philosophy?
Yeah, we have a couple different things, not necessarily a slogan or anything like that with it. One thing that we'll talk about a lot, and our guys will hear a lot, and I talked about it in the interview process, is just our system, our identity, and our culture. Everything we do will kind of fit under those pillars, and there's different core values and standards under that. But I'm not as creative as Coach Fletcher, I guess, with his hashtags and stuff. So I might have to work on something like that.
So you're coming in now. The Bethany Lutheran men's basketball team last year actually led the UMAC in scoring. Their pace of play was really fast. They run more of an NBA type scheme, pick and roll, spread it out, shoot the three. Is that how you're gonna run your offense? Are you gonna maybe tweak some things, or what is your offensive philosophy?
Yeah, no, I think offensively we'll keep things very similar with it. I think probably wouldn't be a smart move to come in and change a lot of things when a team scored 90, 91 points a game last year offensively with it. It's been recruited to. It's a fun system to play in. It certainly seems like the guys enjoy it. So like I've kind of told the guys, some terminology and some other things might be a little different, but offensively the style of play I think is going to end up looking very similar.
Talk about the success the team's had. They've won the UMAC tournament championship the last 3 years. Does that put any pressure on you at all, do you feel, coming into a successful program?
No, I think that's the way it should be. We'll embrace the expectations. We'll embrace the pressure. No one's going to put more pressure on me than myself and the program and stuff like that. The expectations are going to be high. That's what we want. That we want to be, that's what excited me about it was the fact that the bar has been raised and there's a high level of expectations around here, and we're going to embrace those. And but on a day-to-day basis, we're not going to focus on that stuff. We're going to focus on getting better, being the best team we can be that day. So when October 15th rolls around, when we can be the best team on October 15th that we can be, and then the next day the same kind of thing. And so the pressure, expectations, whatever you want to use for the term there. I mean, we're going to embrace those, and we're just going to work hard and try to get better every day, and kind of enjoy the journey.
Okay, last question before we get into the rapid fire. You came from Minnesota State, a very successful college basketball team in a NSIC, very competitive conference. What do you learn from playing against that high competition that you can bring to Bethany?
Yeah, obviously, there's a lot of high level of coaches in that league, and there's some really, really good basketball programs. And our region, in the NCAA is one of the strongest regions, if not the strongest region in the country. So you just learn, it just helps you as a coach. It helps you grow. You got to bring it every day, and game planning wise and all of that. You got to be on top of it from that standpoint with it. And then I think that just important on that is that what that carries over to is how important every day is, every practice, all of that, because there was no easy nights. And, that's the same kind of thing for us. When you've been successful at Bethany like we've been and stuff, there's going to be a target on our back, and we embrace those and try to get better every day.
All right, let's get into the fun rapid fire question segment. First up, are you Michael Jordan fan or LeBron? Who's the best player?
I love them both, but if I had to choose one, I'm going MJ.
Okay, how about Bird or Magic?
Bird.
Favorite team to play in the UMAC when you were playing with Bethany a while back?
Favorite team to play, you said?
Yep.
We had a lot of great games with Northwestern over my 4 years and stuff, and obviously they've kept it going, and have a ton of respect for Coach Gross and his program, and the longevity that he's had there, and the success that they have year in and year out. So we had a ton of fun games over there, great crowds, great battles as well.
Who's your favorite football team?
Vikings.
Vikings. Okay, and last one. Best player you've coached or coached against?
Best player I've coached or coached against? That's a good question. When I was a GA, our point guard at Minnesota State, Zach Monahan, he went on. He was an All-American, Division II All-American. With that, and he's had a really successful career over in Spain. From that standpoint, but it had a lot. Down in Arizona, we had a conference player of the year down there. With it, we had last year at Minnesota State, we had a freshman of the year in Ryland Holt, kid out of Illinois. That he's got a chance to be really special over there. So there's a few guys obviously that I could put up there with it, and obviously coached against a lot of talent as well. But yeah, I'd say Zach Monahan, Ryland Holt, those guys are towards the top of the list for sure.
Well, thank you, Coach Garvin, for joining us today. I look forward to watching you coach the men's team and keep up the high intensity the men's basketball team has brought these last couple of years.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for having me, Brock. I appreciate it.